So here we are sitting down with Coach Rivalry from Chart Champions, all the way from the USA. I gotta go straight into it and say, what did you do before you became a trader?
Well, thank you for having me. So I was actually right out of high school, joined active duty service, and I did that for roughly about 10 years. Did a few combat tours, and immediately after that, for the context I had in active duty, I transitioned to civilian contractor. So it's basically the same thing as active duty, but you're doing it as a civilian. Okay. It pays a lot better. Immediately after that, it was actually a contact I had at active duty who hooked me up with a job with the federal government. But it was when the lockdown happened and I had the ability to sit down and actually study. Everything from the basics all the way to the advanced skill set is when I would consider myself a trader. And that's when I started trading full time.
Okay, cool. So then you already had a slight interest in trading, and then during the lockdown, that's where you had then time and you started to pique the interest. Yes. Of now I want to take this much more seriously.
Yes and no. Only because you know how during the lockdown it was very bullish. Mm-hmm. It was like laser beam eyes and everybody was buying everything, and I'm like, my goodness. And even I think it was like Tom Brady and everybody, like Elon Musk, all of that was going crazy. So obviously with that culture, it sucked me in. Mm-hmm. And I still bought tops. I ain't gonna lie, and I was selling bottoms still, unfortunately. But the majority of it was very profitable. I did a lot of spot investing before I actually did any type of derivatives futures trading, because I was still relatively new to it in the crypto space. In the Forex place, with CFDs, it's a little different, like the liquidity is a little less.
So then through that journey, at what point did you find Chart Champions, and how did that affect your journey as becoming a trader?
So I actually followed a lot of influencers, unfortunately. And a lot of them were shilling a lot of the coins, which I got sucked into. Yeah. And through that, after getting burned, I started looking for signals, I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of groups on Discord that were providing signals. It was like a hit or miss. I did make some money, but it wasn't profitable. It wasn't until I saw your channel. I was like, who's this Daniel guy? So I joined, and I have to be transparent, for like the first 2 months, I would watch the video. I was like, he's not giving me signals. I'm just gonna move on, So. But it was until I believe I think it was summer 2021 when BTC hit 64 and started coming down, where to about like that June range, around 30K-ish, like it was like 38 to 31K, was when I was like, okay, it's like half of my profits are like in the red now. Like I lost a lot of profits. I probably should have cashed out. And the community was like, hey, we're all in short positions. I remember one of our coaches, Igor, he was like calling 64K. And I was like, man, how do these guys know this stuff? They must be legit. So that's when I really took a deep dive into footprint and, Fibonacci, your custom daily levels, and like the horizontal levels that we teach at Chart Champions that you came up with. Was very intriguing to me. Like, there's no way these guys are wizards. There's no way. But it was like hit after hit after hit. It was like they're doing something right. So that's where I really took it seriously from there.
So how would you feel your life has changed since you became a profitable trader?
I actually have that unique perspective to where I can say I used to work the 9 to 5, and I have that both, views of it now. And I'm not gonna lie, the money is great. Right? But really the freedom, that's also very cliche to say, but in reality it is, because even let's say we're traveling, like, most people, like for instance, you're in Europe, right? You have like the best time zones, right? For me, like if I trade London, it's in midnight. So I could technically work midnight and be done the rest of the day, if it's really good, you're not stuck at a certain 9 to 5, you can work different times if you want. Like for instance, sometimes you can work the close of New York because it gets very volatile. So you can literally not trade all day and just wait for the close.
So what makes you a profitable trader? Your strategies, your mindset? What is it that you feel makes you like the turning point of being a good profitable trader?
There's a a statement I use a lot in the community is always pay yourself. Okay. And, you know, I've found that when I've been educating other traders, they'll set a trade and they're just so fixated on like that TP1, you know, and they just will not close, you know, because, you know, markets can change at any moment. Yep. So although it's ideal for us and we set a plan for that target to hit, it can change instantly. And for me, you know, I'm perfectly fine making a few hundred and just continually stacking that. Because the example I like to use is that, you know, let's say you're in profit like a few $100, right? And then your take profit's almost there and it starts to turn, and even the footprint data is already showing you like it's going to reverse. It's probably going to hit your stop, but you're just so fixated on getting that hit. But then let's say you're just taking a stroll down the street and you find like $20 on the floor, like you pick it up and you feel like you've won. So that's literally free money right there. So I don't know why people just don't do that. So this is why I really push for winning, because winning feels good. Like I like to win, you know, and if you're not winning, nobody's listening.
And what would you say your main, in terms of strategy, would you say you use like, for example, CCTR or your market profiles? Which is your go-to strategy?
My go-to strategy definitely is volume and market profile, you know, especially with the futures market, because the difference between crypto and the futures market is that, you know, with crypto, the volatility comes randomly. There's not one market that rules the other. I mean, there was a little bit of that with New York back in 2021, but now it's more sporadic more than anything. But with the futures market, it's clear, you know, it's New York. So with market profile, if you're not familiar with it, is that obviously New York almost quadruples the volume. So it goes on 30-minute auctions. So everything from single prints and TPOs, this is my bread and butter.
So now, obviously, being a coach at Chart Champions, what do you like about the role and being a coach for the people? You
know, it's an interesting thought when I thought about it, because I've shared with the community that I personally don't need to be here, right? Like I make plenty trading. And, you know, there's that common toxic misconception. It's like, oh, these guys are, you know, they're not making money. They're taking our money and they're not really traders, you know? And I wanted to change that mindset. I want to trade along the people I'm helping educate. I want to show them like, hey, I'm doing it. And that's what's unique as well. You know, with most communities out there, they've already established who the coaches are. And, you know, it's kind of like an elitist group, like they separate them. I'm unique in that matter because I actually was a member, you know, and then I'm one of them. I'm the outsider looking in and raise the ranks. And I use the methods that Chart Champions teaches. So the fact that I am a living testimony of the fact that the product works, you know, so, and the fact that it can be done. The fact that you get to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who share the same passion and you get to see them grow. To me, that is just like the most amazing thing, to see somebody struggle and say, man, I got it. Like the messages I receive as a coach now are really one of the biggest reasons why I continue to stay at Chart Champions, because they get to share me their payouts. They get to share me, hey, I got stopped here, which I usually chase that trade, or I usually continue to ladder or hold on to losers, but I lost 3 trades in a row, but I was invalidated. And then that next trade I won, and I won after that. And now I'm at like a 50, 60%. I'm profitable. It's just a great feeling. And, you know, that's always been the end goal for me. And I know I've shared this with personal friends of mine, the closest to me, that even though I do love trading, you know, who doesn't love money, right? I've always had a passion of teaching. It's always been the #1 thing for me.
And I know one thing that I feel that we share in common, moving on to like personal life and what you like to do in your spare time. I know you like video games, right?
Oh.
And that's something that we both love. And do you feel video games helped you become a good trader, or would you say unrelated?
Oh, absolutely. Because, you know, without saying how old I am, like I was already in MMOs. I played World of Warcraft, and that's when I heard about Bitcoin. So I was already in a raid. And anyone who's played an MMO, man, you're sitting hours upon hours and possibly getting a piece of gear, possibly, you know. And if it doesn't drop, or it does drop and you roll and you lose the roll, you know, you got to wait the next time, you know. So for me, waiting for the next opportunity for a trade, easy.
Yeah, man.
Easy. You know, like sitting on multiple hours on a screen is not a big deal for me. You know, I could do that all day.
And in your free time away from the screens, what do you like to do?
Well, I make it really intentional, you know, to spend away time from the screen, because I was originally started with crypto where, you know, you would lose hours of sleep sometimes. Market volatility comes so random, you don't know. So you're literally just waiting and you don't know what's going to happen. So the fact that mainly for myself, I transitioned more to futures where it's more structured, Monday through Friday. You know, New York brings most of the volatility. It's easy for me to be intentional, to spend time with my loved ones on the weekends. You know, I have like 5 dogs. I love my dogs. We like to go out and, you know, do all these things.
And then, so yeah, I guess overall, yeah, thank you for being here and sharing some of your story. Now, you know, it's always good for people to see more about yourself and get that connection with you. So yeah, happy to have you on. And then, yeah, we obviously want to see more publicly, get the people to know you. And then, yeah, how can the people find you on a everyday basis? Where can they get you?
So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Paulo Flores 85. And also, if you're part of the Chart Champions community, I have my own trading channel. On Mondays, I do a unique stream called the AMAs, where you can ask me anything. It could be trading related or not trading related. And then on Fridays, I live trade. I pretty much show that I can do what I do.
That's where you can see the magic.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.